Okay. On our last set of encounters, what had happened was we discovered that everybody in this loose knit group, as of now, is traveling on the Long North Road. I'd asked you guys a set of questions so that hopefully you know why you're on the Long North Road, and hopefully soon I will know that. Um,
I put mine on
it,
my character sheet.
okay, cool. I will read it from your character sheet then. Uh, what you guys are going to be doing then is like I said, as of yet relatively unknown to everybody. Um, but what happened in the interim to interrupting your immediate goals was an attack on the caravan that you are all a part of, whether you're guards or paying member of the caravan or whatever. Um, the caravan was assaulted in the night from the night mists by goblins on the long north road, and you, the party, were instrumental in fending them off. Particularly, Haley has become something of a hero to the caravan. Haley, so that you know, Weston is the name of Hannah's character, just to
Oh,
be
that's
confusing.
yeah, great. I was like, I just remember Haley playing.
Yeah. Um, and in the aftermath, uh, Avender Zavaria, uh, elderly, crotchety wizard, set up sort of a triage to deal with the victims of the goblin attack. There aren't too many dead, but there are a couple who were horribly maimed or injured, and they were attended to both by a vendor and the wandering druid, who, as of yet, is only known as Bird Person. Um, and a vendor discovered over the course of treating the wounded that the goblins have been taking hostages uh, from the group and wandering off, which is not normal goblin activity. Goblins are violent little buggers who have a tendency to attack and then steal and then leave. They don't tend to take prisoners, especially prisoners that are larger than them. Uh, and moreover, there is some extent connection to these goblin uh, slavers, perhaps. Maybe they are collectors of humans. Who knows? Um, and a small red becapped individual who was watching the entire event from a hilltop uh, some distance away, who held a banner that possessed a symbol that looked like an eye with toothed lids, and uh, that was crying some kind of tentacled horror out of it. Um, that bedecked his banner, and he was surrounded, of course, by large dog-like creatures that seemed to be breathing fire. Seemed even, yea, to have fires lit inside of them as though they were miniature forges of some kind. Um, who disappeared into the mists with the retreat of the goblins. And a vendor, uh, realizing that there were people who needed assistance and who may even be part of some dark ritual on the part of this interloper, began to form himself a party out of the bird person, medic, druid thing, and Haley, the new folk hero of the caravan. And they were supplying and maneuvering somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where myself. When both Avender and Haley became aware that there was a dark figure following their group from the shadows, as sneaky cat people sometimes do. What I am going to postulate to you, Weston, as a feasible interpretation of events is that while these people were being heroic, you yourself maybe also engaged in some of the combat.
Okay.
The frustration of spending a few of your bullets on the goblins, perhaps outweighed by the beautiful explosions of whoever's heads that you took off. You do have three pistols on your person, and I looked up the reloading rules. It's actually a whole lot less penalizing than I had thought.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I put them on your sheet under the guns, so that you know
I'll look in a second.
what's going on. Anyway, so you'll be much more like a gunslinger than you would have otherwise. Anyway, so my thoughts on the matter are, while they are being all heroic, that maybe you were doing the thing that any good campaigning adventurer would do, and seeing the same opportunities that the party has already noticed, that you went to the leader of the caravan, who notably does not speak common, so you would have had to either find a translator or yeah, I think you would have had to find a translator because he doesn't speak any of the languages you speak either.
Right.
But there would have been a chance for you to negotiate then with him, and you could have perhaps settled on some price for the return of his usual translator, who has actually been kidnapped, along with many other individuals. Perhaps as many as 15 people have gone missing. And I'm what I'm suggesting is that perhaps you have made some assurance of monetary compensation for the act of saving them. But that is up to you. I don't know how your character would act in this situation. Perhaps you are just heroic and you are attaching yourself to the hero group. It is just a suggestion. Since I know that the nature of your character will rely pretty heavily on contracts at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. That's up to you. But you are the figure in the shadows who has been following them.
So my choices are to collect.
Your choices
or
are
ask for money.
unlimited.
Okay.
It's D&D.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't 100% paying attention. I was looking at the weapons. It says I have a pistol, short sword, and dagger.
Yes,
I thought I had 3 pistols.
you do. I just only wrote down one because they're all the same thing.
Okay. So I have 5 weapons?
Mhm.
Well,
You
alright
are
then.
bristling with weapons, if you will.
I'm okay with that.
I figured.
Yeah, well, I'll just do the heroic thing and not.
Okay, so you're following these people because they look like heroes.
Oh,
One
question
might
was the
think.
reason why I felt like.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah. If you're just doing the heroic thing and you're just joining up with this band of heroes, then that is an option.
Yeah, we'll just say I'm
You
looking
tell me.
for comrades to do something in the next stage of my life. So I'm following them because I'm interested.
Okay. And there is reason to be interested.
All right.
In the fight, I know that a vendor was using some kind of magics. There was mystical missiles being thrown, I think.
Nope, I never actually got to do that.
Okay.
As far as you
Oh,
know,
you were
I'm
just
just a
whacking
very
people, man.
talented stick fighter.
Yeah. Yeah, he's some kind of old monk with a long beard. And
Ah! So, spotting Weston's character, I go, "Ah, you in the shadows, show yourself!" And my staff lights up, and I point it, all Gandalf-y.
All right, I'll step out.
you got like
No,
a
I step out. Yeah, like mysteriously step out without saying anything.
You've got a searchlight pointed at you, essentially. It's
Yes.
very bright. Someone's shining their high beams at you.
I cautiously and mysteriously step out with my hand on my weapon. Don't say anything.
It looks like an assassin has stepped out of the shadows. For everyone else, from behind the caravan, he steps out, and it looks for all the world like a contracted assassin is standing there.
I surreptitiously put my hand on my axe handle, not necessarily to draw it, but more like a warning for him to be careful of what he does next.
What business have us with you, rogue and scallywag?
Just looking for an adventure. Hoping to find some people to travel along with.
That you creepily come out of the shadows just to say that?
I have no response.
This woman's like, just so you know, this woman is 3 foot tall, and if you saw her at all in the fray, she resembles, when she takes the axe and wields it, she resembles something like a helicopter that just flays everything in front of it.
Okay.
All right.
Take that image out of your head now,
All right.
right?
So I want to.
Yeah.
I would like to use sense motive to tell whether or not Weston's character is being genuine or not.
You may roll sense motive, and I don't think he's lying, so I'm not going to have him roll deception.
I know. I want to.
Unless you want to be like really stone faced so that they can't tell what you're thinking.
No,
But
I'm good.
I was
just
gonna say
keep it on his face.
he's like a very genuine cat. It's just you don't interact
Investigation
with cats.
is
all
that
the
what
time.
it is in this edition, or is it perception?
It's insight.
Oh,
Wisdom,
insight. There we go. I see it now.
Wisdom, sense motive. You don't interact with cat people very often, but you have a cat at home. And you know that it has this face that it puts on when it wants food. And it is a very honest face. It is a demanding face, but it's honest.
Well, instantly knowing that I have indeed gathered another ally, I pull my staff back and I turn off the light and I go, and be quick about it. We are off to rescue those captured by these foul creatures. Ha! And I start taking off in the general direction that I was heading before we ran into the assassin.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure an extra hand would be of use.
Well, especially considering that bird person has apparently disappeared.
Bird person perched his head up, like feathers stuck out at every odd angle, like. Huh?
Okay. Well, I don't actually say that, but
Yeah, I know. He perches his head up, just holds one of his fingers up, and he's like, oh, okay. So, you guys had gathered? You have gathered your equipment. It is still night. Dawn is perhaps a few hours away. Still, the heavy mist and cloud cover obscuring the moons, which would usually be excellent light for your way. Nor are there stars to tell the direction. in which you would travel upon the moors. I don't know if any one of you are particularly familiar with this area of the world, and even if you were, it's a lot of gray rolling hills. There is before you an expanse, of course, the hill upon which you remarked the strange creature before, and his burning canines is a feature that stands out to you.
All right. Well,
Pretty solidified in your memory.
we
And the goblins leave lots of tracks.
yeah. So I assume that we're just going to follow the goblin tracks until and
Okay. Well, and notably, you don't even need a check to assess this. The goblins are pretty light-footed themselves. They don't leave much trace that they have passed.
but the giant sacks of people they're carrying behind them is easy to follow.
But yeah, there's ruts because they have some kind of heavier burden, and that renders them unable to move as stealthily as they normally would. All right, so you guys are going to follow the tracks in the night. I assume a vendor is providing light for the party.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So then I'm just going to need survival checks to see how well you are able to follow the goblins' trail and what you find upon that trail.
Was that a D20?
It is a D20 plus survival, whatever your survival skill is. It is based off of wisdom.
Mhm.
And if you are trained in it, of course, you gain your proficiency bonus to survival.
Oh boy. I was about to with those low rolls. I was going to be like, in this edition, does Hannah get a bonus to tracking because she's a ranger? But
I think I did that right. I put
Weirdly
ranger
enough,
under my
it's
character sheet.
Weirdly enough, it's a wisdom stat.
It is a wisdom stat, yes.
all right, well, it's a good thing we brought the assassin with us.
Yeah, let's see, where's the... Because I haven't added everything to her sheet, and she does get some bonuses while she's in nature, so let's see. More difficult terrain, she has advantage on attack rolls. Won't be slowed by difficult terrain, moving as a group. You can't become lost, so she'll always know her direction, even without the stars. She will remain alert even while tracking. No, she does not gain advantage for being in nature, though. But it doesn't matter, because
This is just a test. Okay.
the as of yet unknown named cat person.
Oh shoot. Yeah, I gotta name my character. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't yet.
Well,
I was
you
like
name
filling
that
out
one.
all the character info.
Well,
and
I mean,
didn't
I don't
realize
know
I
if you
hadn't put a name
need
down.
to. We have had a
I will go
campaign
unnamed
where
now, I think.
where Ben went the entire time without a name.
It's true.
All right.
Though that was a distinct character feature that he put onto his character.
Eventually. I mean, I think his character had a name. We were just so enamored with the idea that it didn't that we, erased it.
Something like that, yeah.
Righto. So, the tracks are fairly easy to follow. Even with the low rolls, you guys are able to track it up to a point. But then all of the dragged bodies, there's no more sign that they are being dragged. In fact, the number of things that you are chasing seems to dwindle almost to nothing at all. as and the bodies seem to have been converged on a single point. At which juncture they appear to vanish, and there isn't the sign of something heavy enough to be carrying that many bodies either.
Portal.
However, it's a very good idea. In fact, it was my first idea as the GM that I was just going to have them all portal. But there are no signs, at least initially, of a portal. Of course, an Arcana check might change that. But the cat person has gotten low to the ground. And you see him sniffing around and clawing a bit at some of the dirt there. And some small distance away, he allocates something that he avers is the proof that there was a larger creature of some kind here. How that fits in, no one knows. But there was a creature which you believe, for all intents and purposes, cat person, Darkesh, was a troll.
A stealthy troll.
Trolls. Well, actually, roll me a nature check. If just to have an idea of what a troll is.
Me?
Whoever is fine. I mean, you, yeah, you know it's troll tracks for sure. And then like you can actually track the goblins as well, despite the fact that they are stealthy bastards.
15.
26. There's like no way they can hide from you. 15. Okay.
Is that how I do it, or did I did it wrong?
I don't know what your nature check is, but I'll check your sheet.
Nature,
nature
just
is
a
+2. Yeah, so you did it right. So you don't know much about trolls, but you know it is a troll for sure.
Yeah.
It's like the extent of your knowledge of trolls is that you tracks that things leave, and the only part that you cared about was the foot shape. But you know exactly what its feet look like, or at least the depressions that they leave with their feet. No, you have an idea of like the smell and the haptic, but like it just doesn't matter enough to you to care. Whereas a vendor, you know at the very least that trolls
Need to be set on fire? Please tell me I know trolls need to be set on fire. Please tell me a vendor knows they need to be set on fire.
I mean, if that's something if that's something a vendor would pay attention to when he learned about trolls, then that's probably something a vendor knows. What a vendor does know, for absolutely sure, that maybe Haley doesn't, not having ever encountered a troll, is that the trolls in this world are not the trolls from like Lord of the Rings. So like when they have a cave troll, it's not that troll. Trolls are lean creatures typically.
So
they
they're
have
like
a
Nordic
very
trolls.
yeah. Like if you've ever read Beowulf, they are Grundle.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. so that is more what's going on here. But there is no distinct reason that you can think why a troll would have been able to make all the people disappear. Unless it ate all of them, which seems anticlimactic, at least to the game master. The troll does head off and seems to be maneuvering in the same direction as the goblin horde. There's a small horde, by the way. You guys thinned out quite a few. You know that anywhere between 10 and 20 goblins died in the raid on the caravan. At least 3 of them were remarked upon specifically.
All right. Well, I'm going to take time to double check whatever weirdness may be going on and detect magic as a ritual.
Okay. So just for my benefit, would you mind reading out Detect Magic so I know how it works?
All right. Okay, so for the next 10 minutes after I cast it,
Sure. That's a nice, good duration.
yeah, for the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic and learn its school of magic. If any, the spell can penetrate most barriers, but it can be blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of dirt, but at least to 3 feet down, you know that there is nothing particularly magical. There are residual traces of magic, like as you focus, you can see like the phantom wisps that let you know that there was some kind of magical presence here, probably object based.
All right. Can I roll Arcana to get more
Yeah.
information?
You can try and piece out a little bit. The strains are pretty weak. You can detect light elements that make you think that there's some kind of a conjuration spell at work, but you don't more than that. You could not say. Other than that, you think that it is made to move things from one place to another, perhaps.
All right. More importantly, does the conjuration seem to go in the same direction as the troll, or another direction from the troll?
Yes. The conjuration there are 2 separate items that both have a similar after effect. Although they are markedly different. If one were to describe it in color, one might describe one as blue and the other orange. And they both wind in the same direction, though. As all these creatures are moving, as if all these creatures are moving together. So the troll has joined the party, so to speak.
All right. So it appears that we may be dealing with some sort of troll shaman or other such magically inclined being of its species, though it is possible that he had another spellcaster with him. Interesting, yes. And I'm
Common for trolls to rely on others.
Anyway, we should be off. Continue the it seems that whatever spell was used to make the transportation of our fellow Cavaliers is heading in the same direction as the troll tracks. We should hurry. Yes.
Dakota squelched through the mud, like staff waving in the air. So the path leads onward, but notably, the goblins and the troll, they move pretty fast, faster than you guys do on foot, and they have a head start. So you, this is up to you guys. In a day's worth of travel, you have not yet caught them. So the cat person, did you introduce yourself to them at any point, Weston? Darkesh? He did.
My mic was muted. Okay. Who could say that I did on the days that we were traveling?
Okay. So, at least in the first day, you guys do not find them. How long are you willing to pursue them for?
Well, I suppose that would depend on how much rations we have.
True, possible.
I mean, yeah. I mean, at this point, we've kind of committed, so.
Okay. All right.
Have we gained on them at all?
You have not seen any signs that you are gaining on them.
Okay.
It is possible that you have closed some ground, but you don't have any way to tell for sure at this point. However, during the second day, you begin to find the bodies of dismembered goblins left in the wake. More than are necessary to maintain a vendor knows the red cap.
It is possible that the troll was not an ally of theirs, but an extra attacker. Unlikely, but possible. Could be considered.
The troll just showed up and took the prize away?
It could be, and then the goblins continue to pursue, and maybe this is. Does it appear as though a fight took place, or do these look more ritually killed?
Roll me an investigation check.
All right. All right.
Okay, so the first one is just an absolute grisly mess, and then you get to the second one, and then the third, and by the fourth one, you have enough bodies then to begin to establish a pattern. Like, obviously, they don't have runes carved into them. They aren't glowing or anything.
Right, but there's a difference between being smashed, stabbed, and slashed, and or just your throat slit.
Yeah, there are hallmarks. So they're not killed uniformly, but one thing is certain: every single one of them has had its eyes removed. Specifically,
well, that's disturbing.
No.
Which is, it's not normal protocol for.
Right. Do I know of any
goblin
particular ritual that uses the either let's say fey eyes or maybe particular goblin eyes?
There's no racking your brain.
Right.
There's no ritual that you can immediately think of that's like that.
I wonder if it makes good soup.
Eyes? I thought eyes made good chili.
Chili would be more likely. Eyes have a tough exterior. They're like beans.
Never thought of putting them in chili. Could have done that next time. Or last time.
In fact, that's part of the old family.
Well, I say we continue on the path. They have to stop at some point. They're obviously going to some form of destination.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Onward!
So on the third day, more goblins. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
what were you saying?
I was just gonna be careful though. If they're removing such a particular body part, it is possible that these goblins are being used for ritual fodder as well. Possibly.
The path across the moors, you continue to follow. The cat person still hot on the trail of his troll.
Yes.
goblins perhaps forgotten as they are thinning bit by bit. And then on day 3, following the troll tracks, you find scorched into the earth, scorched through the grass, as wet as it is, because the mist has persisted, unlifting. The sky is gray, visibility low. You find, scorched into the earth, as you stumble across it, a large mandala, like a magical symbol of some import, that has been widely scoured. It's a large circle, probably the result of some ritual. But despite the interest that this provides, and it reeks of sulfur.
Lovely. That stuff's
Yeah, it's horrible. Despite I like the smell of sulfur. Good grief, it is potent. But no, I remember being in Yellowstone. And it's just like, wow.
It was all over in Iceland.
Yeah, it's like someone just smashed eggs everywhere.
Yeah. And not like fresh eggs either.
No, it's not a good. Yeah. But the cat person notes, because I've a fairly single-minded focus, that the troll tracks keep going, even though that there's some kind of magical thing going on here. That the troll tracks keep going. There don't appear to be goblins anymore.
Arcana check.
Still no sign of the people.
Or religion, if that's more appropriate.
No, Arcana is fantastic. It is some kind of a spell. It is absolutely a conjuration of some kind. Well, it is in that school. That is to say, and it looks like you piece apart a good portion of the symbology. It involves very much the alignment of some planetoid mass and a series of stars that make up a constellation which is not utilized in the modern era, or at least not by the civilization of which you are a part. And you believe that it is meant for the instantaneous transportation of an individual from one place to another. You believe it is probably a spell locked to one of the objects you had noted before. So a powerful magical item. The size and general shape, if you will, like the shapes recorded about the edge of the mandala, seem to you to indicate that it has incredible range. Potentially a range that could reach even to the edge of the moors, like from one edge to the other, if you will, which is a tremendous distance. And it appears to have some kind of relation to time itself. Like it is, the spell itself is oriented in such a way as though it is like a claw, like a that's very loud. The rotation, that's fantastic. I don't know how you got that like to be so clear. The rotation of heavenly bodies somehow affects the spell.
All right, so it's a teleportation spell of some kind that, depending on the time and date, will teleport people to different places.
That's one possible interpretation. Yes.
All right. And it looks as though this was used, but the troll kept on going, but everyone...
There are no more goblins to be tracked at all. There's still no sign of the humans that vanished. So what was teleported? You don't know.
Right, there's no more goblins, but the troll keeps going.
Yes. It is possible that the goblins
Right.
have some means of teleportation.
Am I able to tell whether this was which direction this was used?
You mean, can you find where it might have gone?
I mean, did somebody use this to come over here, or did somebody use this to go someplace else?
Oh, you're not. I mean, you're not entirely sure. It's possible they could have brought in some kind of flying mount, of course. But like, there's no clear symbol to tell you whether this was a receiving or a sending circle.
All right. So, based on what I know, is it like, all right. So is this, how to put this? Is this a Stargate or a cannon? Like, does this just shoot you anywhere depending on where it's aimed, or is it very specifically set up to portal to other places, like connected to other similar mandalas and stuff?
This it does not appear to have been here long. It's fresh, and you know that the creation of any kind of permanent magic circle, unless whatever this is like deep within the ground, perhaps, that it takes a long time, like as long as a year to create a permanent circle. And certainly something of this size would have been an endeavor that may even have taken multiple mages, as well as a large expenditure, which may say something about the item that was used to create the circle. But it does. You do not think that this is a permanent fixture.
All right.
Like this is not a Stargate. There's not a giant rune stone circle underneath the ground.
Well, no. I mean, like, I meant like, so from what I can, from what I have deducted so far, at least what it sounds like you are telling me, is that, is that the stars and the heavenly bodies are basically the control panel to decide where this thing is going, and so
that is a possible interpretation, but you're not entirely sure. You just know that the heavenly bodies have some effect on the way that the spell works.
Okay, so, but I don't know whether this needs a similar symbol on the other end to connect to, or if it can just shoot you anywhere. Yeah,
with the information that you're able to glean from it, like, you are not entirely positive if it needs a receiving circle.
All right. Bad question. Do I think we would be able to use this?
What are you thinking?
So it appears that there is some powerful source of the magic that is outside of the circle. If you have on your person some powerful source of magic, it is possible that you could also link you could jerry-rig a similar reaction. What it would do to you have no idea, because like I said, there are so many elements of this spell. It's a huge mandala.
All right, so
in
short, no, we can't use this, so we should just keep heading after the troll.
I'm not going to say that you can't use it. I'm just saying that whatever you do will be really unpredictable. Just because,
right?
Like,
so even if we did, it's very unlikely that we would end up wherever somebody last used this.
I'm not going to say that the GM would dislike you using it because of where he could put you, but yeah, no, the odds that you find the destination of the spell with as many variables as are going on in your head right now is low.
All right. I inform the rest of the group about what I have found in the simplest terms possible, so their tiny brains can handle it, and suggest that we move on.
Wow. Insult.
For whatever it's worth, Dar, I don't know that. Yeah. Oh, is it always pronounced Darkesh?
Yeah.
Darkesh. I didn't know if he had like a shortened name or like a
Darky.
So Darkesh.
So stupid.
Darkesh, I don't know that you really even care if the wizard is being condescending because there's a troll to hunt.
Oh yeah, no, I don't really care.
I'll probably shoot the wizard a dirty look, but knowing
But
how he's behaving so far, he's
I don't
doesn't care.
actively say for your tiny brains. I just say it in the simplest terms possible. I am passively condescending, not actively condescending.
Oh yes, such a great distinction.
Bird person just nods sagely as you say you say your piece. It's like, yes.
All right, we continue. We continue after the troll.
Bird person has no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. So
on the heels of the troll.
Question: the smell of sulfur.
Sure.
Yeah,
it doesn't make you happy.
Right.
You specifically for reasons that you and I know, but I mean, Darkesh doesn't like it just because it reeks.
Right. Is there a chance?
It makes Bird person feel very unsettled.
Is there I have with your setting. Is there a chance that this is this connected to the Ifrit, or is the possibility of this being connected to Hell Dimension?
So this is like the Ifrit are related to a plane that is fire incarnate, essentially. Like and you know the smells that would be associated with that plane are maybe things like burning flesh or burning wood. It's just burning things in general. Sulfur is generally more relatable to the apart place of torment that is the home of more diabolical things.
So Hell Dimension.
Yeah.
Okay. I wish to make everyone aware of the fact that there's now a distinct part that they have some sort of actual demon or devil with them.
Oh,
It's possible.
all the more fun.
I was going to say, it's all the more fun. You still don't see anything but troll tracks.
Yeah.
Don't know to have wings. It is a distinct possibility. He could be using the troll as a perch of some kind for all we know.
Or just a flying creature.
In all my times of slaying monsters, I don't believe I have encountered something from a hell dimension. So this.
I have. And let me tell you one thing. Do not get the blood anywhere on your clothes. They smell of sulfur for weeks, and you cannot get it out unless you have lime juice on you. It is frustrating.
Who carries lime juice with them?
Nobody! That's why it's so frustrating!
Okay.
Is it weird that I have lime juice? No, I don't.
I don't think he has druid craft, but I would so love for him to just produce a lime. Bird person over here.
So,
Yeah.
so this conversation is going on while we are continuing.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, there's a good portion of time spent in the examination of the circle itself. So, like, there's lots of conversation that can be had during that period of time. Uh, the forward motion brings you is perhaps on the fifth day, tracking the solo troll, um, who does not appear to have deviated from his course at all at this point. Um, that you see in the distance through the scudding clouds that seem to be attached to the earth near permanently out here. You see a low, maybe 30 or 40 feet high, so 3 or 4 stories tall tower in the distance. A stone structure, if you will, that looks not unlike fortification of some kind or a watchtower.
All right, so this appears more to be a mundane tower than a wizard tower.
On the outside, yes, certainly. It is a large dark structure. From where you are, it is little more than a shadowy structure right now. The size becomes more apparent the closer that you get. And when you initially cruise the structure on Hilltop, it appears to be mason stone all the way up, with no noticeable apertures in terms of windows. There is a door. But, and this is the important part for particularly anyone interested, upon a second look, when growing closer to the tower, you notice that there are 2 windows very high up that you can see, and another window on the what might be the second story, second level, that is visible from this side of the tower.
Mm-hmm. I assume the troll tracks head directly into this tower.
Yes.
What time of day is it?
Or at least it heads close enough until the ground becomes a little bit more stony.
Right.
It is roughly, as Haley can tell you, a
That's
midday,
amazing.
but it is very.
I hate, honey, I love you, but I hate you so much for this decision.
Every time.
It is.
It's like, wait a second.
It is a gray. It
Would
feels
it
like
help?
twilight.
Would it help at all if you called her Hallie instead?
Yes,
Then you
I
may
can call her Hallie.
infinitely
call
so.
her Hallie.
Okay, so Hallie is able to tell you that despite the appearance, that it is about midday.
And what time will we arrive at the tower?
Essentially, upon coming to the tower, it will still be like early afternoon.
Oh, okay, cool, good, because we don't want to show.
Terribly far. Into
Are trolls nocturnal?
Usually, they can be. This one has been moving, seemingly, much more frequently, just like as though it were on a forced march.
Right, but for the most part, like goblins and trolls are primarily nocturnal creatures.
Yes.
All right, cool. Then we should head there right away.
Do
Okay.
trolls in this world steal socks? It's an important question.
They steal everything that you are wearing. Typically, whether they use it then or
Wait,
consume it.
They steal everything that you're wearing?
Usually, including
Little
the skin
pervs.
and the meat that is attached to your bones. Trolls are noted for eating people.
Okay.
So, when I say they steal everything, I mean everything
They
but
ju-
the
they just
bones,
don't
which are
steal
not
your- they just don't
exactly
steal all your
digestible.
armor and leave.
I mean, it depends on the troll, but they are often collectors of stuff. So they adorn their environs sometimes in the leftovers. They aren't particularly couth creatures. They're not known to be civilized in the classical sense. If that's what you're looking for. I don't know if that's what you're looking for. If
Kind
that's
of
what you're
I'm
looking for.
for.
Yeah.
That answers my question.
Cool. I'm glad, I think. Alright, so you guys come upon the tower. There is a heavy wooden door. Appears to be latched from the inside.
Can I break it down?
It is large-ish. Oh, you can certainly try.
Wait.
What was that?
That was a wizard.
If I'm allowed to be stopped,
What does the wizard say?
I would like to walk up and knock politely on the door with my staff.
Talk. You knock. There is some resounding sound on the inside, as though you knock, and there is a large empty space behind the door, as is conventional with doors, I suppose. But there is no internal response for some good minutes, if you wait.
I would wait about 5 minutes or so.
Sure. Cordiality has been served.
Yes. And then I go, all right, good manners have been produced. Illustrious warrior, you may shutter the door. Yes.
Thank you.
I was gonna say that's not me. I want to break my
Okay, I'd like to try to break down the door.
Wait. Before she does that, I just check and see if the door is open.
Okay.
It's unlocked.
All right. So you say, illustrious warrior, you may now break down the door, and then you check.
I do go.
That is the order of things, as I understand it.
I go, you may break down the door, and then I go, wait. After I
Well,
check to see if it's open.
You may now break down the door.
Af-
The wizard just suddenly has an idea and pushes the door, and with a nice shove, it swings open.
I let my
Haley
axe
goes
fall
charging
rather
into the
detective. I let my axe
Did you
fall to
just
the
say
ground rather
you
detective.
charge through the door?
No, I was gonna say that Haley.
Oh yeah, and I just
where the
yeah, I
door
just
was,
charged
into the
right
room.
Oh yeah.
past the wizard, right through the door.
Full Looney Tunes style, yeah.
Yeah.
So you bum rush the open
Yes,
door.
I bum rushed the open door.
Okay, so Hallie goes straight through. As you do so, you your mouth kind of goes dry, and there is a sudden taste, which I would describe to Hannah, the player, as a taste that's ionic, like the taste of ions, and but Hallie would probably be able to sense it's a taste metallic. It's a very metal taste, and there is a sudden glowing, sparking sense around you. It's more static than anything else. And roll, if you will, for me a dexterity check.
A dexterity check or a dexterity save?
Save. Yeah, dexterity saving throw. Sorry. Oh, that's real good.
Because that's just a dex check. So do you have training?
It's fine.
Okay.
She has she has dex high for ranger. So you only take 1 point of electrical damage as you notice some runes around the doorway, a light, and there's like a sparking. But for the rest of us, it's like obviously the characters wouldn't understand this analogy, but it's as if there's bad wiring in the spell. It's just like
Careful! They may have trapped it in. They may have trapped it. Not well, but apparently they did.
Can I like skid to a stop?
yeah, your
Yeah,
hair kind of standing on end.
Yeah, I just like shout at the wizard. You could have mentioned something earlier.
Like you can still see little traces of like magical lightning coursing across her armor.
I didn't think to mention it before you tried opening the door.
Under my breath, I just go, amateurs, and I detect for any more spells.
So you throw out detect magic.
Wait, you called her an amateur after you opened the door as she's charging and she flies into the room due to your fault.
Yes.
Exactly. I'm used to professionals who understand what these things mean. I'm dealing with amateurs again.
So you throw out
Still
detect
sitting
magic.
on a rock outside.
It's like I'll just let this happen. So you sense the abjuration that's on the door, but it is weak. I mean, like it at one point in time it was a solid spell, but it like corrosion, erosion, some kind of low maintenance that would have been necessary to make sure that this thing
Can I turn it off?
was solid. That it's gone off a whole lot of times. You don't know why, but it has been triggered like a bazillion times.
Can
Turning it off is relatively simple at this point. You just need
And I turn it up
to
and on again.
bar your way through any one of the given runes, and you'll probably break it all together. So you can do that with your staff from like outside the door.
Yeah.
And then once you've taken care of that, the residual static energy kind of diffuses, and you are able to enter into the room. It is dark in here, very dark.
Wait,
there's
can't I
no
see in the dark?
window, no light. Do you have dark vision?
I'm a cat person, aren't I?
You are a cat person. It'll say somewhere in your features that you have dark vision. I think you do have dark vision, which means that you see in the dark as though it's dimly lit.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do not have dark vision, so I'm going to light up my staff.
I don't think you or Hallie does.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I do not.
Yeah. So, Avender, you turn on your. What does it look like when you cast light? By the way, is it just like a gleaming?
You've seen
glow
Lord of
like
the you've
Gandalf
seen the
had.
Lord of the Rings when Gandalf does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little glow.
That thing.
Okay.
There is some sort of gem on the top of my staff, and I hit it into the ground, and that gem lights up.
All right. So you got some bright light.
I
that
imagine
you shed
I imagine it
through.
has a slightly blue tint to it, just a slight.
Okay. I like that. I can appreciate. I like slightly blue tinted lights. Unless they're LEDs, and then they're way too bright. So you guys wend your way through the door and into the tower now that the spell has been diffused, which once guarded this place. You can see that there is a fireplace. There are it looks like living accoutrements. A cot of some kind has been laid out.
All right, so we're here, or
Yeah, sure. This one is a slightly different tower. Yeah, I need to. I don't have a cat
I'm
person.
gonna go get a picture. I'm on it.
Initially, as you step in, I guess I'm going to, like I said, I just found this, so I'll slightly alter things. So this is the door. You're in the causeway. There is the two pillar-like structures, which probably held the static energy at some point in time that Zappy Kapowed Hallie on her way in.
That was cool.
There is a small, like a podium, if you will, to your right, with a book laid out on it. Looks like it's some kind of ledger,
Like a guest book?
like a guest book. In fact, it is exactly like a guest book.
Who's the last person who signed in?
Did they sign with a flourish?
It is an incredible flourish. In fact, the name is nearly illegible. Does any of you
The words
have
in the medical field.
Draconic as a language?
Let me check.
I do not.
Okay.
At the moment. Oh, wait, I think I
That's
do. Wait a
fine.
second. Actually, I think I do. I think the sheet doesn't have it on here. Languages. No, Draconic is one of the few languages I do not, in fact, speak.
Okay. Well, it's a name that you don't necessarily recognize, and it's in a script that is nigh inscrutable. But you would stake your life on it being a wizard signature, based solely on the penmanship.
Oh, so it's like doctor's signature.
It is very like a doctor's signature. Except instead of being incredibly abbreviated, as most doctors tend to be because they write their name so much, wizards have this ungodly tendency to relish spending 10 minutes writing their name.
Well, duh. How else do people know that it's us?
And it is elaborate. Like, you could imagine that name being its own illuminated manuscript.
Oh, by the way,
By the way.
if nobody stops me, I will spend 10 minutes to ritual cast comprehend languages.
Okay. So you're going to ritually cast read languages to get the name of the spell, or the name in the book.
Yeah. Oh, it's a spell.
No. Yeah, well, it could be. Wizards' names have a certain amount of power to them.
Yes, you can lock books with it. There's an
So
old fantasy reference.
so the name, if you do spend 10 minutes, I don't know what everyone else is doing in that 10 minutes, but you spend 10 minutes to read languages. And you see that the name is Zalmalfadax. And then the last name, you're going to have to bear with me on this one. It's Falmalfadorian.
Are these in any
Foul-mouthed Dorian?
Are these in any way significant names?
You give me just an intelligence.
History?
No, a history check. Yes, because this is racking your memory. Which you pull out with a certain amount of force from your memory. You do remember this guy. In fact, you remember when he changed his name to be so wizardly. There was a certain period of time at school. He was never like an adventuring wizard like you, but you remember him because he's one of the guys who was on the list of people that volunteered to guard the.
Can you please mute your mic when you pour yourself tea?
It's super fun though, and like I love it every time.
All right, can you warn me so I can mute you when you do it then?
But it's great. No,
It needs to be like recorded because it could be like a text message sound or something.
it's so good. It's so good. Anyway,
That would be my text message sound.
he's one of the guardians of the wizard towers,
Mm.
Oh, so this is a wizard tower.
of the wizard watchtowers.
If he was here, then it's possible that he was guarding this tower.
It is possible.
Yeah, does the ledger look more like a visitor log or like a shift log?
It looks like a visitor's book.
All right.
Actually.
Curious. Very,
Ooh.
very curious. Very curious. Are there any other names of that I find interesting or historically significant?
So wending through, it seems that a couple other wizards may have visited the tower at different points. Zelnafadax's name is repeated several times.
Mm.
He did not have any trouble writing his name in every time he left and re-entered the tower. But there is another name. Like, for the most part, the names are in very, very literarily appropriate wizard scripts.
Mm.
They're in ridiculous languages like Celestial, Infernal, Draconic, things that no one on Earth,
should
or
be,
Luceran for that matter, would need to know. But there's another one that is written in a language. Does anyone have? I mean, I know that you can read it. So because of read languages, so there is another language that you don't know.
That's impressive. It's a language I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's part of the point. And I'm pretty positive that you don't know it.
My languages are on my proficiency sheet if you want to double check.
Yeah, I will real quick just to make positive.
Bless you.
Sorry.
Bless you. So under proficiencies, yeah, this is one you don't know. And the essence that you get from it is that the name is Zizixes.
Spelled with X's?
With Z's, S's, X's, and Y's, and a K.
The most proper wizard name if I've ever seen one.
It certainly could be. But it doesn't have any surname, and there is no title to it.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Which is... Well, it's not just disappointing. It's unnatural. Like, no wizard that came out of your college would ever do that.
Do I know anything more about any of these other people besides the one that we've mentioned as being the most important?
Oh, there are people that you recognize from your days in studying.
Right.
And
So far, this just seems as though this was a wizard, like a wizard's tower at one point that a lot of people visited.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Probably.
Is the book in any way magical?
It does not appear to have any distinct magical properties.
Oh,
to
okay,
it.
sweet. Then I am definitely going to take out my ink and pen and sign the guest book.
Okay. You do so. It takes you the requisite 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, let's do it in. I feel like primordial. Primordial, I think, would be the appropriate language of choice this time around.
So you write down your name. For everybody else, the wizard has become enamored with some really big book. And he spent a while casting a spell over the book, and then he's just perusing through it, and then he pulls out a pen and an inkwell, and he starts writing in it. He's all about the book. What is everybody else doing during that time?
Me? I'm sitting down.
Oh, are you still outside the tower?
No, I walked in and then sat down.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm trying to just shake off some of the extra static,
All right.
to be honest.
Yeah, you guys
If I finish before he is finished, I would probably just into the next room.
Sure.
I'm quietly, impatiently waiting. Also, there's a picture of my character on Twitch.
Yeah.
Ew.
Whatever the file type is, though, it doesn't save
I like it.
for me.
There's a download button if you put your mouse over it.
I'm just gonna copy the link to it, and
Sure. See if that works.
well, because the download button is what I already tried.
Oh.
I'm going to save it as whatever that is, and then I will populate you into the world. Hopefully, I will populate your character into the world. Assuming that this worked. It did work.
Cool.
I don't understand Twitch at all.
Well, like, there we go.
Catman.
Da 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 da. da.
That's yeah.
Josh.
That's Josh.
It's Josh.
Yeah. There's no one else it could be. Let's be
No.
honest.
Immediately, it's Josh.
That's Josh. Okay, so Hallie, you walk into the next room. There are several elaborate rugs on the floor, and a large chest over by the far wall. You can see over to the left. There are some chairs and tables. It's a large curtain drawn across half of the room. Well, not half the room, more like a fifth of the room.
Does the chest look suspicious in any way?
I mean, you can't really see very well. The light from a vendor's staff is in the room previous, so everything is kind of cast in a dim light to shadow at this point, and the chest is particularly wreathed in shadow, being around the corner. You can see the contours of it, and in the context of a place that has already zapped you once, you would... the chest seems almost malignant.
Yes. I'm not terribly keen on exploring.
In fact, the rugs look a little dangerous to you at this point, and you're not entirely sure that the table doesn't want to eat you.
Fair assumption.
Like everything in here could be a monster at this point. The floor was a monster previously.
I will probably just go back into the other room and mention something to our wizardly friend.
He is engrossed. He is currently in the middle of the 15th swirl. That is incredibly important.
Can I hit him in the back of the knee?
You absolutely can. A vendor, your balance is thrown off in the middle of the 15th swirl. It's a very important swirl. That is his name.
Yes, I was trying to figure out why you kept talking about a vendor.
Oh yeah, yes. That is a vendor's of area.
Got it.
Ah! What is it? What?
Your pen goes skittering off.
You seemed deep in thought.
The name is ruined. Which, of course, just means you'll have to start again.
No, just start all over again, and I start all over again. Of course I am. There's a fallen tower of members of my order. Of course, it's of greater knowledge of the fact that it was presumably being deconsecrated by the presence of evil beings. It's quite...
Yeah, besides, you absolutely have to make sure your name gets down here. Like, because you've seen some of the names on there.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, you've even seen some rival wizards in there, like some Provovia, Vivacina, who was a total bitch back in school. And, like, you can't let her name be in the book.
No.
Yours isn't.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be awful. You do, I believe, as an explorer, you do have torches on you, Hallie. Because a soldier, you could always light one up.
I know, but I'm a little tentative about that room now.
Oh, I mean, I would be too.
Anyway,
In fact, I designed the room so you would be tentative of it.
anyway, after I have finished my
Designed it in imagination, by the way. This is not my map. I found it. Someone else did it. It was awesome. They have their name or something like that in the bottom left corner.
all right. So I have finished creating
Yes.
my magnificent
It
signature.
takes a while. The Catman has watched you the entire time.
Yeah,
Yes,
annoyingly, I was on the last swirl when she kicked me. So
So just another short 10 minutes later, the 15th swirl.
all right, fine.
Followed by-
I walk into the next room and
Quick shots.
I will make perception plus any other appropriate checks that need to be made to know what's up with this place.
Yeah,
And I
just your initial glance at the room. There are rugs, fine rugs, from across the world. There is a table, very distinctly. Looks like it was perhaps used for eateries. There's a large chest over to your left. There's another door across from you, as well as one to your left immediately. There's a large curtain drawn across. It is a sort of a tapestry,
all right.
displaying some act of some saint. So whoever this, I mean, you knew this guy. You don't remember him being particularly religious, but it's possible that the tapestry could have some other value.
The rod and the great pigeon.
22 for religion.
It's a folk tale telling. It comes from the north. Hold on, I got this direction. Northeast, where it's the lands are controlled by the humans and the halflings, predominantly. You note that this isn't a very old telling, maybe one that was picked up by the Argosian Church, because you do see some of their symbology. There is some very heavy moon stuff going on here. But otherwise, it is the telling of a hero's tale. It involves dragons, which are pretty mythical in this area of the world. You can see that there's a big
Jorge.
green dragon. No, George isn't involved. There are actually three figures of importance to the story. One of whom has been canonized as the saint. Her name is Adeline. She is she's been canonized as an avatar of Selanui, the moon goddess, and is venerated by some of her priests. But Adeline is way older,
right?
And the story is way older, and there are actually three heroes involved. Anyway, it's
is the chest magical? I should still have detect magic going. Right.
Oh, okay. So you've got detect magic.
I still have that from
wind
the
it
door.
around
So
towards the room. Yeah, you've got like what 5 minutes left on after all the book.
Probably about yeah, something like that.
So, you turn it over, and there is something weird about the chest. There is something magical about it, but you're not. So like after you are focused on it,
Arcana check
for about a minute or so. Okay, yeah. It's got some kind of conjuration going on. You think?
All right.
But you're yeah. It's particularly towards the base of the chest that you sense the magic. The chest itself does not actually seem to be the magical thing, but the floor beneath it does.
Ah,
So a removal trap?
A who what?
A trap based on the removal of the chest rather than of the opening, or possibly even a trap based on the removal of objects and weight distribution.
Could be. Like there aren't any symbols on the outside, so you would need to like either move the chest or open the chest to figure it out. Any more than what you already know, which is just
I
strong conjuration.
carefully stand back and kind of just push the corner of the chest with my staff.
It doesn't move at all. It's like
It's glued.
it's heavy.
Okay.
Or it's either super heavy or it's anchored to the floor.
Is there a way that I can somehow turn off the magic that is coursing through the chest or beneath the chest?
Do you have any kind of
I'll be right back.
spell that would do that?
Do I have any kind of what?
Because short. Do you have a spell that
Not yet.
would dispel the magic? Okay. Then no. There's no simple means of getting rid of whatever's under there. It's strong, whatever it is.
Is the chest
And persistent.
Is the chest locked?
One of the things you do note, if you focus on it long enough, it is not locked.
Okay.
If you try to open it, there are lots of blankets inside.
Oh, okay.
Like heavy wool blankets.
Huh. I was gonna say because I was like I step back and I mage hand the thing open.
Yeah. There's just like it looks. Honestly, the inside of it looks like a hope chest.
Hmm.
It's got like fabrics and blankets and blanket fit for a bed, like comforter style.
Okay, question. Is there a chance that what the what about this? So since it's conjuration, and now that I know what's in the chest, is it possible that it is either one, a chest which makes blankets and is basically just like like a bottomless blanket maker, or is it possible that it is it makes different things depending on who opens it, or do I not know enough to be able to figure those out?
You know that it's whatever the spell is permanent. And it is at the base of the chest. But you don't know specifically, like, it's school, obviously, but you'd have to be able to see the surface to see if there's anything inscribed on it. The spell itself does not appear to be one that actively pulls things into this into being from another place.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't appear to stanchiate anything that you can see.
All right. I'll go take a look in this room then.
Okay.
Same deal. Being cautious now.
Right. So you just left all the blankets there?
Oh yeah.
In the chest?
Yeah. I forgot no reason.
Okay, good.
I'm curious.
the
Not
other
a
room-
bad guest.
Has a fireplace, as well as some bookcases. Looks like light reading stuff. Not
I'm gonna
anything.
go grab one of those wool blankets and put
Uh-huh.
it in my backpack for my travels.
Okay. You pull out one of the heavy blankets. Good night. Stuffing it into your pack. And you notice as you disturb the blanket in the chest, you can see down to the bottom of it. And there is a heavy iron ring.
Like how heavy are we
Yeah.
talking? Like Thor's hammer heavy, can't pick it up?
Oh, look, it's a leaden ring, so it's weighty.
Is it worth anything?
It's attached to the bottom of the chest by like a little hoop.
boot?
A hoop. Like there's a little hoop there you could like pull on the ring, for
Oh,
instance.
well, my character gets curious and pulls on the ring.
Okay. The other blankets are kind of like stopping you, so I'm going to imagine you just toss the chest so that you can get to the ring, and you pull the ring, and a door underneath the chest opens up, and there are
Feel
a
like another floor?
set of stairs leading downward. Not stairs per se, but it's like a ladder, a wooden ladder that goes downward.
Guys, I found something.
What? Oh.
It smells
Well-
rank down there.
Does it smell
I
like
was
sulfur?
stealing a blanket. The blanket smells fine, but the stuff under the blanket does not smell fine. There's also a ladder.
Does it smell like sulfur?
No. It smells of must. Actually, give me a perception check.
I can do that.
Sweet beans.
Perception. Oh, what's the P mean?
Proficient.
Okay. So does that add something to it?
Yes, it adds your proficiency bonus, which at this level is 2.
Okay. So it'd be a total of +6, or is it already factored in?
It should be factored in.
So it's just a number at the end, anyways.
Yeah, it should be your wisdom modifier, plus your proficiency bonus,
Yep.
which is 2. I think your wisdom modifier is 2 also, because almost all of your modifiers are +2. All right. So you both smell the must and mold and rot. And you both smell a metallic-y smell, which is reminiscent of iron. A vendor,
Mm-hmm.
you are able to piece together the smell of blood.
Oh.
Did someone beat me to killing something?
There's no sound coming from down below, but there's still a subtle
This is the
aura
basement
to the place.
About, right?
This is the basement, if indeed it is a basement. It is below wherever you are, for sure.
Okay. I shove my head into the chest, and my head pops down into the room and looks around, because I can
Okay,
dark vision.
roll me a Constitution check.
Okay. Oh, that's up top. That's a D20 as well, plus a modifier.
Yeah. Your con mod, whatever that be. All right, that's very good. So you feel for just a moment the intense sense of vertigo, and then the incredibly strange feeling, like insanely weird feeling, that your head is right side up, and your body is also right side up.
What?
What?
But your head is beneath your body. Like, because you plunged your head
Like
through
a
the
gravity
chest.
swap past my head.
Yes. Like gravity has switched past your head.
So very
It is
quickly, I pull my head
really
back out.
jarring. It happens again, and you're like, oh. But you
Oh, it
keep your.
happened after I pulled my head back out. Great. So I pull my head back out, and I go, guys, I think I accidentally took some drugs.
There's drugs in the box. Guys, I know what this chest is. It's drugs.
These wizards on weird stuff. This has found his secret
This
stash.
suddenly makes so many things.
Explains why they always draw in scribbles and squiggly lines. Can't even see
Indeed.
straight. I sit back down because I'm having a weird time right now.
Okay, so Darkash sits on the ground. Woo! You've
Can
got the
I-
cat sitting on the ground, weirded out. Hallie?
Are there any like loose pieces of rubble in the around the tower?
The whole thing's made of stone. You have a really big weapon.
Well,
What are you
what-
implying, Aaron?
If rubble is what you want specifically, no, there isn't any. Yes, you can make some.
I would like to try experimenting with the chest by dropping a stone in it to see what happens.
Okay.
So if there is no
So,
rubble,
I'll say that you smash the pommel of your axe into the nearest wall, knock a chip out, or a
Okay.
sizable chunk, and then you drop it into the chest to see what happens. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is how you do.
that's about accurate. Yeah.
Okay, it falls through, and then it falls back. It's like one of those. Gosh, I can't remember what they're called. The little things with the metal balls where
Pendulum.
Sure. It's not what I was thinking of, but that works too. But yeah, it falls back through, and it whoop up into the air, and then it falls back down again.
Just keeps going back and forth.
Yeah, and it slowly decreases in speed over time. So it gets.
There's a gravity swap.
Until it finally just hits stasis in the
Am
center.
I still wheezy, or was it only when I put my head in?
It was only for a couple of seconds. You were able to
Okay.
accommodate with it really quickly. If you had rolled lower, there might have been vomiting.
Yes.
Is it possible there is another room and or dimension within this chest?
Do you say that out loud?
Yes.
Okay. A vendor, you think it is entirely possible.
I was gonna say Arcana check.
I was gonna say, based on everything that you had found out before, you're like, oh, now all that stuff about the wacky conjuration, that would make sense.
Mm.
Like if it were a portal.
Oh, so they put him into a pocket dimension.
They put what? Who? Into the troll?
Something.
It's just a wizard outburst, like all the composure leaves for a second, and then he's back to crotchety old wizard.
Oh,
Like the whole act drops, and then it comes right back.
All right. We should double. Ow.
Throw the mic.
My advice is that we double check the rest of the tower before heading in to Chest World.
Okay.
That chest world's so great, though, probably. Okay. So you guys go through the other door, or you go behind the curtain.
What?
There's a curtain adjacent to Catman. Darkesh, you are sitting
Oh.
beside.
I
the
mean,
tapestry
I'll
like
take
curtain.
I will take my staff and stay. Actually, no, I will not take my staff. I'll have my mage hand come up and be like, whoop, and pull back the curtain while I'm 30 feet away from the.
You see some dried food supplies, mostly,
Ah, sweet.
and there's some casks of wine, maybe a nice bottle or two.
Cool. And I suggest that we head through the rest door and check this tower before we head into the portal of death and destruction.
I snatched the bottles of wine.
Got
You
the-
have fairly nice vintage,
I
which
think
is what we're going to call it for now.
Okay.
There is a stairwell. It is very narrow. It leads up into the tower. The light has left you, Haley, or Hallie.
I'm turning around.
You briefly found that there was a room. It looked like maybe a little study, a little reading room. There's a fireplace there, and some bookshelves. But a vendor is winding up the stairs.
The light
They
with him.
spiral tightly. Yes, he has the light with him. Darkesh doesn't
Third.
really need it, but you do.
All right.
So as you come up the stairs, you hear a swishing sound.
All right.
Yeah, it's something is scraping over the stone above you.
Like
There's a second
scraping,
floor.
as
Not
as in,
scraping, but like as in swishing. Yeah, swishing sound. So like a lighter material.
Like, okay, or like by swooshing, are we talking like a curtain blowing in the
Like
breeze, or are
something
we
kinda-
talking like an
Like
axe
a distinct-
swinging back and forth?
Like a distinct sound that would sound something like shh 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 shh,
like a broom.
like a broom.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll cautiously keep moving forward.
So you're going to stop because the stairs just keep going up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go a little bit more cautiously now that I can hear something.
Sure. So are you going to stop? You're stopping at the floor though with the swishing sound.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Um. So. You step out, and wherever the swishing sound is, it's in another room. Here there are arrayed alchemical reagents and supplies,
Ooh,
as any good wizard would have, all labeled with ridiculous names. The eyes of some random ass creatures. Although all of those slots, you notice, any of the ones that say that they should have eyes in them, are strangely, they've been abdicated by their the respective bottles.
I see where this is going.
There are tails of things, though, tongues of things, livers. You see a pickled fetus of some
Right.
strange.
All right.
You hope it's a pig.
Do I see anything that I think is would inform me that the next door is trapped?
No.
Okay.
No. This looks like
Right.
a wizard's living quarters.
All right. So mainly I am just going through to make sure that there is nobody else inside of this tower. That
Behind the door, in front of you,
Yeah.
you hear swishing. The swishing sound is coming from that wherever that is.
All right. Now that I am closer, I will stick my ear to it and try to see if I can tell more exactly what kind of thing it is.
Sure.
My guess is that it is an enchanted broom that is just set to clean up this place automatically, because that's what I would do.
And your thought process is, well, I mean, like the thick door.
I'm going a little
But
deaf in
it
my
does-
old age.
It does sound like straw rasping over stone.
All right. All right. I will open the door cautiously.
And you find exactly what you expected.
Oh, okay.
There is in fact a broom suspended in space, and the moment that it notices your presence, it freezes and whisks itself over to the wall and sets itself down.
Cool. I go to the neck. I take a quick look around to make sure that it doesn't look like there are any sort of other traps or anything that I should be scared of, and then I'm gonna.
No, just a bureau.
All right. Cool. I'm gonna take a quick look in the next door.
That's where the sleeping chamber, apparently. Oh, well, a multitudinous sleeping chamber is.
Right.
Maybe this is the guest room. With it's got empty storage containers. Besides the one, there's a chest with linens and things in it.
All right, cool. So doesn't appear to be anything else that I should be worried about.
Uh, Nothing particularly dangerous.
Check the bureau as his light passes through.
That bureau? Yeah.
That bureau.
It has in it some rather fancy robes, as well as like a much more utilitarian robe that is like a gray wool sort of thing that you might wear. It has some overcoats and a tall, pointy hat is set atop it.
How dapper.
There, yeah.
All right.
There's some jewelry in one of the drawers.
Anything of great importance among that jewelry, you think?
There's no way that it all looks kind of fancy. Some rings, a necklace.
Like any amulets or...
I mean, the necklace has some kind of gem appended from it.
All right, cool. So it doesn't look like there's anybody on this floor.
Besides the broom.
All right, cool. I'm gonna head off to the next floor.
Okay. The next floor up appears to have in it the rug in the entranceway, of course. And then the door across from you is opened. You can see a magical circle inscribed into the ground. It is still glowing softly, a blue-ish light. In the corner, there is a small, ever-burning torch that has a green light of its own.
Already being wary of this tower, I start to like hold my axe a little more securely, as if expecting like something weird to happen.
All right, I will take the time to ritually cast.
There are also numerous books.
I will take the time to ritually cast detect magic.
Oh, it's all over the place.
Well, right, but I want to actually see what it exactly is all over the place.
Sure. So the magic circle appears to be some kind of half-finished divination
Oh,
of some kind.
okay.
The ever-burning torch, I forget what magic actually creates ever-burning torches. I think that it might just be alchemy that generates those things.
Okay.
There are books on the shelf that radiate slight magical auras of their own.
Mm.
Um,
All right. Is this a... So there's no summoning circles or anything like that I should be...
No.
Okay, so nothing immediately dangerous?
This appears to be whatever the wizard was working on himself, like his own personal studies.
All right.
There's nothing nefarious in here.
Yeah, just take a quick look around, making sure that there's nothing nefarious.
At least to your eyes. Yeah, no, to your eyes, this looks like where he practiced.
All right, cool.
His own studies.
All right, and then I assume that this is just the top of the tower.
Yeah, I'm just going to put a caveat in there because this tower doesn't have the thing that I wanted at the top of it, which in this case, as you step into the room, you see across from you, resting in the corner, is a large troll who has sort of arrayed himself in the room. He's got some scattered bits and pieces of what you imagine were people's belongings around him. And in the center of the room, there is on a pedestal a structure like a marble, large marble that looks like one of those electrode balls where, like, if you put your fingers on it, like the little sparks will come out and touch your fingers. Looks like one of those. But there's the big troll there, and he kind of like, as you open the door, he looks up, looks you up and down, And then he just kind of goes back to whatever he was doing.
Not care.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be plussed. In fact, you would say he's non-plussed. And he kind of says, as he's looking at whatever he's got in his hand, he's like counting through something that you can't really see. He says, in Goblin, I think. He says, "So, we got another job already then?"
No, we do not.
What?
Okay.
Just
Did you-
making sure
Need something?
didn't leave my hat up here.
And then he turns and he looks at you and he squints.
And I just slowly close the door. Alright, looks like it's not here.
Okay. You can hear the small tinkling sort of sound as he continues counting whatever he had in his hand, which is either metallic or glassy. As it makes a chinking sound as he rifles through it. Rifles, but rises slowly.
Well, I think we have found the troll.
It's under someone's power, or at least someone's hiring him.
I would go more the second one, yes. I take a look at the Catman, as he has probably said nothing about besides how much he wants to hunt and fight this troll this entire time. And I'm just basically like,
I'm already loading my gun.
yeah, I'm like, we're not getting out of this without fighting the troll, are we?
I'm just sitting there like, nope, popping the bullets in.
All right, I'll let you go out first then.
By all means, you may have the first shot.
All right. I would like to try to, because he's not facing the door, right? Or is he facing it?
He's facing his hand, but yeah, he's loosely like he's splayed out. It's a circular room. Like this map shows it as like the parapets on top of the tower, but it's actually a room with large windows, and it's got like a conical ceiling.
Is there any way I could sneak up, like right up to him?
There's nothing really to hide you, no.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, I think your only chance is actually if you want to go outside the tower and climb up it halfway.
That is possible. You could either climb the tower, or you could, like, if you moved really fast and really stealthily, you might be able to get behind the pedestal without him immediately noticing you. I mean, he'll probably know that someone was there, but you might be able to be fast enough and then hide behind that. Be pretty smart.
What about getting Hallie to smash a new rock pillow for me, and I could throw it at the opposite side of the room so he turns away from the door. He turns towards the noise.
If you start smashing rocks, he will I'm going to say this as the DM. If I were that troll, which I am, I would come and investigate that.
Well, in that case, I have my guns loaded. I open the door, blatantly step in, point the gun at his head, and pull the trigger.
Okay, I mean, it is pretty surprising to him. He's not super expecting to be shot in the head. So roll. I'll give you advantage on the first roll because this is just like so out of his realm of expectation.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do for that is you roll the d20 roll twice, and you add your dexterity modifier plus your proficiency bonus at the troll.
So that's a totaled up there in the +5.
Yep.
Can I do this twice?
Yeah, you roll twice. Okay. So with the 21, you hit for sure. So roll. I believe your pistol has 1d10 plus 3
Yep.
for damage. Bang. Oh, nice. Okay.
That works.
Okay, so let me just do a quick calculation right here for my troll, because I don't want to be a bastard. Okay. You blast him, and it nails him in the shoulder, and a couple of the things that he's holding skitter onto the ground, and you can see they're shining, they're red, they glint a little bit in the light from a vendor's staff, which is kind of shining into the room. And the troll, whisks up to you. The hair, which is like greasy dreadlocks, like flailing around his face as he stares at you with these beady eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Bullet like sinks into his flesh, and he's like, and he goes straight from like the cordiality of before, or loose cordiality, into battle mode because he has just been shot. And he reaches one of his hands, which have these ridiculously long claws on it, up into the air, and he smashes it down across the room. And he grabs onto the marble that was sitting on the pedestal, and he picks it up, and he hefts it. And now we're going to enter the loose initiative order thing that we have going on. Oh shoot! I'm throwing stuff.
Cool. Do we have a do you have a troll token of some kind?
I can throw something down here real quick. Find me a troll. If I can get a pretty. Ooh, he looks nasty. We'll go with this one because this is from the book and I like it.
Ironically, bro is actually mad. Get it? Because internet trolls are always like, you mad, bro?
Yeah, well, this guy has reason, I feel like. He is what you might call provoked.
Yep.
That actually looks a lot like what you were describing too.
I'm glad. There's an image that I have somewhere saved that is even better, but this will do. And it is the official image, which is pretty. Okay. So, at the top of the initiative rank. Oh. Man. Cool. Nice. Okay. All right. So, what are people going to do? The troll is
went.
Clearly he's going to try and
You know
he's
how
going
many
to
points he has?
an attack. You have no idea how many hit points he has,
No idea.
but you shaved off 13. You know that.
Yes.
Yes.
So
If I
he's
can, I'd like to try and just blatantly attack the troll while he's reeling from gunshot wound. If not, I guess I'll just straight up hit him.
Okay.
Same difference, really.
I'm
yeah.
I'm going to stay in the. I'm going to let the other two jump into the middle of it, and I'm just going to cause fire to erupt from underneath him.
Okay.
Are you a fire mage?
No, I just know a fire. I just know how to create bonfires at will.
Okay.
Because that was actually a useful spell. Because you just wanted to light the fireplace from across the room.
Yeah, not a bad idea. All right, so he has rolled for initiative. What I need you guys to do is decide what all you're doing. I think you said you're going to shoot, move, shoot, and cast a spell, respectively. Or not move, shoot, but move, axe.
Yeah, move.
Yeah, I'm just gonna cast a spell.
So moving will be a d6. The spell is the spell's damage dice, and if you plan on attacking at all, you just roll your weapon's damage dice. Ooh, 3. Nice.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, ignore the 5. I was just
Ignore me.
All right.
Will do.
So Hannah, you can either slash roll and then what you want to roll, or you can use the dice.
Button.
Yeah, on the top left-hand side there are dice that you can.
Yep, I remembered.
Okay.
I found it.
So, Joel, you got a 3 with a vendor's bonfire,
I did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
and Hallie has a 2. All you're doing is moving?
For now, yeah. I think that'd be.
And then what do you want to
Last time I rushed, I ended up electrocuted.
What do you want to do, Darkesh?
I'm gonna wait till our vendor does his magical fire spell.
Okay.
And
And then all right. So what are you going to shoot him?
Actually, I was planning on pulling out one of the bottles of wine that I grabbed earlier and throwing it onto him after there's fire.
You want a flambe?
Ooh.
What is this? Okay. All right. So just roll a d6 then, so that I know where you set in the initiative order. Okay. Cool. Incidentally, you go with him, so you guys can obviously decide who goes first. But Hallie, you have rolled the lowest, so you may move into this space as you please. I believe you have, 25 movement? Charge up the stairs and into the room. Is that where you want to be?
Yes, that is where I want to be.
Okay. So you have interposed yourself, in a manner of speaking. Troll's still pretty much got free roam. He's big.
I can tell.
Yeah. So, do I have a reach? I don't think he has.
How did he get to the top of the tower?
Anyway, the troll does not go yet. You guys go first. So a vendor.
Yeah. All right. So he has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Dex save throw. Okay. What number is he trying to beat?
14.
15 versus his dex. He crit rolls.
Great.
So he's like, "Hurrah!" So you produce the fire. Yeah. Why don't you narrate for me what happens there? And I will
Oh, so I
back to it.
I slam my staff into a ground, and it appears as though a dragon's mouth
Oh,
comes up, and its teeth try to close on him, and then there is fire in that space.
oh my. So the fire appears in the space regardless.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a 5 foot cube of fire.
So it's just, and he's large, so he encompasses more space than just the cube of fire. But it's like beneath one of his legs, and he moves the leg, from the initial attack, but then he stamps it back down into the flame, which
Yep.
unexpected, and then it is Darkesh. You said you wanted to throw a bottle of wine. So a vendor has lit the ground on fire. The troll appears to be okay right now.
Oh, I've more than lit the ground on fire. There is a 5 foot by 5 foot cube of fire.
Oh yeah. So there's
a bonfire.
a bonfire that the troll is now standing in, essentially.
So I'm gonna throw the bottle of wine at the one side where he's kind of standing over it.
Okay. So you throw the wine. Give me a d20 roll plus your dexterity modifier. I'm not. You're not proficient in wine bottle, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe you drink more than.
Good master.
Yeah, that could be a path that we spec into later. Ooh, yeah. So you lob the bottle, and the troll kind of like ducks and bats it out of the way, and like bottles are actually pretty solid. So he smacks it out of the way, and his extra applied force, it smashes, and you lose pretty good vintage across the one wall, which is now painted in wine. And now he's going to go.
At least I got another one.
And his course of action was to immediately surge forward. So he moves into combat range with everybody. And he is going to attempt to smash you.
Except for...
Well, he's in Avengers combat range no matter where he is.
Oh, okay.
And he's going to attempt to smash you in the noggin. So he rolls. Let's see. He rolls.
I'm assuming you mean me, because he's probably mad at me.
Yeah, you were the guy who shot him so far. So he rolls a 15 to hit you against your AC. I don't know what your AC is off the top of my head, which I should because
it's
I
15.
am a game master. Okay, so he does
15.
hit you. So he hits you, and then he rolls the dice. That's not the dice I want to roll. Okay. So he's going to hit you with the rock, but it's a glancing blow. So he deals you 5 damage.
Okay.
Oh boy.
As he smashes it into the ground. And he is going to whirl around and attempt to backhand Hallie, who has noticed.
I will jump.
She did 5 damage.
Jump out of the way and at the same time swing my axe down at his sweeping hand to see if I can cut it off.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, no,
What
I'm
will
fine
you
with that.
need from me?
I'm fine with that. So he rolls a 15 to try and hit you. I will need you to roll a d20 as well at this point. Or you can't move mouse. Okay. 16? 16 is good enough. Does 15 hit you? You're wearing... Let's see. What do you have? You have a +2 or a +3 to your dex?
I have +1 to my dex.
Oh dear. And you are wearing studded leather? I think.
I'm wearing studded leather.
I think if I remember correctly.
Okay. So your AC is about 14 then, I think. So
Yeah.
he hits you as well. So it's an exchange of blows. So you will roll your weapon dice's damage, and he will roll his hand damage.
His handage.
His hand damage. Hand damage.
Sorry, I'm trying to find my way around.
Is
Why don't you do
okay.
that? Quick question. Concentration.
Sure.
How does spells with concentration work? Do you know?
They work.
Beautifully.
So
those spells require
you
you
can
to
only
maintain.
have one
Okay.
active at any time.
All right.
And if you take damage from any source, you then need to make a concentration check
Mhm.
to make sure that you can maintain the spell.
Okay. Cool.
If not, you lose it and it fizzles out.
Yes.
And I have no idea where the pencil I was using has gone to.
That's.
I'm very sad.
That would be sad.
That's okay. I'll pull up a calculator and that'll suffice for now.
Yeah, I literally found it right as I was done asking you.
Also, the bonfire, does that proc when he leaves it?
No, it only procs if he stays in it or if he enters it for the first time. So it happens. All right, so to read it officially, you create a bonfire on the ground that you can see within range. Until the spell ends, a bonfire fills a 5-foot cube. Any creature in the bonfire space when you cast the spell must succeed a dexterity saving throw or take damage. A creature must also make the throw when it enters the bonfire space on the first time, or it ends its turn there.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So if anything, you guys want to try and keep him in the spaces where I have bonfires.
Yeah. So yeah. Hallie will take 5 points of damage. And swing. As the claws lacerate you. Attempt to hit him, and I believe you do hit him. The damage from your axe. It is me. And just for anyone who is watching, I am absolutely bending the rules for dramatic effect here in every way. So you have. Yeah, so you roll 1d12 and then add your strength modifier to the damage for your axe.
Or a d12 plus 2.
Yeah. All right, so you slam the axe down.
A 10. Yeah.
It grazes along his arm, opening a long cut along the arm. You can see that the bullet wound that he initially received to his shoulder, which like shattered part of the bone, like straight down to the bone, and there is meat hanging off of it. You can see like the tendrils of his muscles are like reaching out to each other across the gap, and the bone itself is like eking back into place. Like it's like stretched. There's little fibrous things that are like replacing the bone, and the musculature is knitting itself back together from the initial wound.
So basically, we need to kill it with fire.
Yep.
You do. You absolutely need to kill it.
I'm
with fire.
trying.
I tried
All right.
to help. Like, apparently I can't throw stuff.
Well, wine bottles aren't your thing.
No, they're not.
All right,
They're
so
pretty
he
on.
is now right up on y'all. So we're going to decide what we do for the next round of initiative. He is going to attempt with his free hand. He's going to attempt to make a grab attack, and then with the other.
Okay. I have
With the
I
other
have
hand, just
a
go
quick
smash.
question,
Sure.
and feel free to say no for this. But is there any chance for taking so long with the guest book I have inspiration?
for the guest book. What I'm going to do.
If the answer is no, that's
as
fine.
far
I
as
just figured there was no
inspiration
harm
goes,
in asking.
what I'm going to do for inspiration is I'm actually going to change the way that it works a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that as of right now, for playing you guys as characters and just being here with me and having a good time, because I think this game is about having a good time. I'm going to say that each of you have like 2 inspiration points that you can either spend yourself or give to an ally. So you have 2 uses of inspiration right now that you have access to.
Sweet.
Which you will be able to use to re-roll those d20s when they come up in a way that you don't like, to make something cool happen. It has been asked. There are a lot of things I want to do with this game, and Path of Fire came out, and I have been absorbed in Guild Wars, so I haven't been giving this as much attention as I could. This is also, I don't have all of my players together. Lots of excuses are going to come out of my mouth.
So
I don't have it all done yet.
all right.
But you have a pair of inspiration dice that you can throw.
All right, cool. I am going to try and set this kind of space on fire.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do.
Sure. So he's going to have to roll against it. That is an excellent roll for initiative.
All right, so that's my initiative roll. I'll wait to hear what everyone else is doing.
What is Darkesh doing?
Do I need to roll for initiative?
You need to tell me what you're doing so I know which dice you need to roll for initiative.
Uh-huh.
A movement is a d6. An attack is the damage dice on whatever your weapon is.
Can I make a move to try and get behind the troll?
To get behind the troll?
Yeah.
That would just be a normal movement. As long as you remain engaged with him, then you will. Weston. I completely forgot about this. You had advantage on that first roll, so you should have also rolled your sneak attack dice. Did I tell you about that?
No.
Okay. Yeah, because as a rogue, you have a sneak attack that applies even on your ranged weapons as long as you have advantage against your opponent.
Okay.
Or if they are engaged with an ally.
Where is that under abilities?
You have 1d6 for your sneak attacks. So if you... Yeah, I can add it to his damage. Cool.
So that just adds to the damage on top of what I do?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
basically
like a
what it
bonus
means
sneak
is like your precision, like you are trained to hit the enemies precisely where it'll cause the most.
Well, there's some extra damage.
Yeah, which is good for you guys.
I've got 2 more pistols that are loaded, so I'm going to be shooting another one.
Sure. Actually, I think each of the pistols has 4 shots in it.
Well then. So you're saying
They're like
I
miniature
have
revolvers.
12 shots. Oh, in
Yeah,
that case,
loaded.
I'm going to
Loaded
shoot the
right.
one I have pulled out still.
Yeah, you're a gunslinger at this point.
Yeah.
Is how it works. I know what you told me the intent was, and basically you can kind of do that to a certain extent. You don't have 6 shooters, but you have 4 shooters.
4 shooters is fun. So,
all right, so it's a D10 for your initiative.
D10. Is that because I'm using a weapon?
Yeah, it's because of the weapon and the size of the weapon. Or the damage of the weapon, rather. Ooh. Okay. And then, Hallie, did you say that you wanted to move and attack?
It's a normal d6, right?
D6 is for the move, and then the attack is a D12 for your great axe.
Plus strength or...
No.
No. This is just your initiative roll to see who goes first. Hint, it's a vendor. Okay. And then the D12. Right. So a vendor, you are going to produce a bonfire.
Yes. And can I
Letting go
can
the first
I
one.
can I use inspiration to make him have disadvantage on this roll?
You absolutely can.
Okay, I want to do that.
Roll with disadvantage against the bonfire. And he rolls on one die a 16 plus 1, and on the other a 6 plus 1. So he has a total of 7.
That hits.
Yes, it does. So what is the damage that he receives? A lot of damage, which is all fire. So, Hallie, because you had noticed this before, you can see now what a vendor was trying to do in the first place. As the fire hits, the wounds that are knitting closed, you even saw the fibers of his, like the musculature starting to repair itself in the arm. But as the flaming dragon's maw comes up and clamps down on the creature's hind leg, dealing quite a bit of damage. You can see that the leg is charred, has like holes in it from where the teeth bite into it. The flesh on the arm reacts as though in like a frenzy, like a fear, as though it itself is alive, and it pulls back and stretches wide, and the wound actually gapes open as opposed to closing like it was before. And the creature is going to, in a turn of rage, he's going to attempt to grab at the Catman before him. And he rolls a... Not whatever that is. Hello. He rolls an 8 as he grabs for the Catman with his free hand, and in incredible frustration at your dexterity, your limberness, being able to jump over his hand. He's going to smash down the orb on your head again, aiming for the skull. Ooh. And he will do 10 points of damage to your noggin.
I'm pretty sure it says here that I only have 9 health and I already lost 5.
Oh, yeah. So you go down hard, like he smacks you on the skull, and you just slump to the floor. And you can see, a vendor, that the troll's eyes are locked on you.
Yep, sounds about right.
Okay. So I've taken 15 damage and I only have 9 health, so I'm basically dead.
Not quite. This game, it's kind of hard to die.
Okay, well I'm knocked out.
You're
cold, right?
unconscious. Yeah.
You're unconscious, and there's some like head blood from your melon on the floor, and on his
Okay.
crazy orb. All right. Next it is Darkesh's turn. So I do need you to make a death saving throw, which is you roll a d20. At Weston.
What?
You roll a d20 to make a death saving throw against dying.
Oh. My bad. I thought it was out of the fight.
Not yet. Sort
We're
of,
about
but
to
not
find
yet.
out.
All right, so you make your first save. Once you make 3, you stabilize, so you're no longer in fear of death. If you fail 3 before then, though, that's when your character dies.
Okay.
Okay, so there's still the moment of desperation. Hallie, though, you have a chance to attack the troll, who you have noticed is no longer regenerating its health.
Right. Am I able to just like jump up and axe him?
Sure.
I'd like to ask you a question.
Oh boy.
How
Please
do
don't.
you feel about me?
Remember, you do have inspiration as well. So if you want to, you can roll. You could take inspiration to gain advantage on the attack and roll twice.
I think I'd like to, just because this is a really nice opportunity for dramatic.
Sure.
Alrighty. How would you like me to roll this?
Well, first, I'd like you to make an athletics check for the jump because I want to know how cool you look doing this. And then second, it'll be a roll that will be your a d20 plus your strength and proficiency modifiers, so that it will come out to +4 for the axe attack. Axe attack.
Athletics, then, and then you said a d12 plus my proficiency, which would be +4.
Yeah, so the athletics you should have macroed.
Yeah,
and
I
you can
have
just click
I
on
have it all set over here. I just want to make sure I got everything else under proper.
Okay, so it is a gangly sort of leap. It's not the most attractive. You didn't get like the decapitation shot, but now you're gonna roll a d20 +4, and you're gonna roll that twice.
+4 twice.
Close. Okay. Close. All right. So, you hit him for sure with that 19 +4.
The first one didn't have +4 added, so
I can do basic math. Despite all appearances. All right, so you do hit him for sure. So roll your d12 +2. Nice shot. Well done.
It was not the most graceful or dramatic, but it did a lot of damage.
Yeah, so actually one of the things that not a lot of people realize is that you don't have to look amazing to end in a situation that hurts everybody a lot. So you like leap, and it's kind of like you intended to leap for that decapitation shot. Instead, you leap across, and you just drag the axe along its back in like a lateral motion from like hip to the armpit, and just lacerate open, and you can see part of its spine, and an internal organ was ruptured and is now like leaking all over the floor, and it whirls in anger, beginning the next round. So Weston, for this, I'll just have you roll a d6 to see where you appear in the initiative. Avender, do you have an intent as to this beast?
What?
Yes, I do. I am thinking
Okay.
about the possibilities. All right. Does it look as though he is about to? Does it look like he will charge after me no matter where I go?
He's I mean, like, he was staring directly at you, and then the halfling hit him, and he whipped around, and now he's got his eyes on her.
Okay.
Like, he's harried from both directions, and he doesn't
All right.
quite have.
All right. I will prepare a magic missile then.
Okay.
We'll do that this turn.
So you are preparing magic missile, so you just roll me the damage dice for magic missile, as per. Hallie, what are you going to be doing?
Felt him damage. He's whirling on me. I already have taken down a lot of health. I think I just want to make sure I get out of the way for now.
So you're going to disengage?
Or is total defense still a thing?
There is dodging. Is an action. You can dodge as an action, and what that does is it gives all enemies who attempt to attack you disadvantage on the attack roll.
I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to run past him really quick, like sliding past his legs, see if I can like slice his chin open in the process.
A note: there's a giant fire right in front of where you would be going to do that.
Oh, I forgot about the giant fire.
He is pretty big though, so there are spots in which he exists that the fire does not. It is encasing one leg, so if you slid like by him, like under the one hand, and then on the outside of his other leg, you could get his
that way?
Achilles on the way through. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's try that.
Okay.
Right. I just
So you go slide dive. So
I just want to make sure you
D6,
didn't try and
D12,
like go like
cook yourself.
this
way. Sliding towards the door somewhat and slashing at his leg on my way over.
Okay. So that's a D6 and a D12 for your initiative then. What was your total initiative, Avender?
Sorry. 1 second.
Is it all three of the D4s added together?
Yeah. That was the plan.
Okay. So 5, 9. Also a 9 for Hallie. And then Weston, if you wouldn't mind rolling a D6, just so I know where you fit in.
Yep.
All right. So you go first then with your attempt to survive. So a D20 roll to see if you make that death saving throw. Oh, you make the second one. 2 out of 3. Very good.
I have to make all 3.
You're a healthy cat. Yeah.
Right.
All 3 need to be made. You can do it. I believe in you.
Right.
Now what the troll is going to do is it's going to try to grab Hallie before she can slide beneath him. So he is going to roll, and he rolls an 8, which I don't think would hit you even if you were sopping wet and had one of your legs eaten off by an ooze. So he misses, and he's enraged, and he is just going to spin, and because his intent, not that you would like have any reason to know this, but his intent was to grab you and then throw you at the wizard to take care of 2 problems with 1 stone. But now he just has 1 stone to take care of the wizard, so he's going to lob that at the wizard.
Oh boy.
So he rolled even worse as he lobs his palantir at you, and his big black marble with sparky bang bangs going on inside of it whizzes across the room, and Avender, it like mashes its way into the rock beside your head so that it's just stuck, so that you just have a dome of rock, like there's a blister in the wall now. And it's just lodged there, and he roars in anger and frustration. You guys both rolled a 9, Hallie and Avender. So who wants to go first?
So is he? So he stayed inside the fire. That's what I'm hearing.
He is still inside the fire.
Do you?
And his turn ended inside the fire.
All right. So first off, because he ended his turn, so he has to make another saving throw.
Okay.
He does get to make another one. Sad as that is for me.
What is he? He rolls a 7.
That is not nearly enough. He needed
See,
to make.
it is so much fun to have me playing as the GM, isn't it? Can't roll above a 10 for like 10 rounds straight.
Okay, so he only takes
Okay.
3 damage this time.
I did manage to knock a player out though, so that was the thing.
Hey,
That was
I have often
the
said
wrong amount of damage.
I have often said that the goal of any fight is if you knock one player unconscious, you have balanced this fight successfully.
I'm doing a thing. It's happening. Okay, so he is torched. The flames curling up his leg. It's like his leg is stuck in a bear trap as he's like, ah! He's losing his beans. He's losing his marbles. All the little glittery stuff has fallen all over the floor. The raggedy clothing, the huge sack that he wears around from shoulder, like he wears it like those sacks that you see people carry children in.
Yeah,
huge.
Aaron, I see those all the day. You know, like whenever I go out for a walk, there are just tons of people walking around with children-filled sacks.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You At least
I know.
At least hand to it.
I know what you meant. I'm sorry. That was overly snarky.
It's okay. I'll get you back eventually. You still haven't gone into chest world. So he's like got his guy's foot stuck in the bear trap.
All right. So he's still
actually
he's still alive for magic missile.
he's still alive, and it is either you or Hallie. However you guys want to split.
Can I go?
It's up to you.
Yes, you may.
All right.
All right.
Well, that's a great start. That's a great start. Oh my!
Okay.
All right. Well, the
See what happens. I want to see this. How does your magic missile
it's
fail that badly?
I don't know. That was impressive. So what's supposed to happen though is three tiny dragon heads are supposed to come out of my my staff and slash and bite at him. But
Hallie, you're suspecting at this point that this guy has a fetish for dragons. Go ahead.
But yeah, I think basically my staff kind of sparks barely, and these three little tiny things go doo doo doo. So that is 6.
Like you were expecting Smaug and you got Puff the Magic Dragon.
No, I didn't even get Puff. I didn't get Puff the Magic Dragon. I just got Puff. So that is still 6 damage though.
Okay.
As my I've been focusing on keeping the fire going, and I'm not used to all this magic again. So still 6 damage.
Off.
He still takes 6 damage though.
A gazillion magic missiles. It's like he's getting barraged. It's like in those mecha anime where you see like the missile barrage and it just like these chunks taken out of him. He's looking haggard, withered. There's like spittle flying out of his mouth. His eyes are frenzied and red. Hallie, make me your great axe attack.
All right.
Make me that great axe attack. You need to roll the d20 first.
Right. Yeah. Ah.
So that's a d20 plus 4 for 12, which does not hit his armor class. So you whiz by his leg, and he's whisking all over the place, and he moves his foot, and like you realize at the last second that if you don't move, you're gonna get stomped.
Wow.
Underneath that foot. So you like barrel roll, you do your little aileron out of the way. You're like woohoo! But you lose the chance to hit him in the leg. You also keep your head.
Good. Something good came out of this.
Yeah. So the next round begins. What is everybody going to do? Weston, of course, gets that d6 to let me know where he is in the initiative order to see if he passes out from blood loss or if he makes it back. Ooh, that is 1 failed save. So you have 2 successes and 1 failure. Da-da-da!
All right.
Crawls closer to death's door.
All right. So, I guess there wouldn't be any reason not to do it. So yeah. So I will prepare to cast Bonfire again.
Okay.
Because I can either cast it in the exact same space where he is, which will, so as I cast that one, it'll end the one it'll basically just, so.
He looks like he's going to charge you.
Okay. Oh, okay. He looks like he's going to charge me.
It's true.
So what
you owe him
I would like to do then is I would like to, place the fire here, so it's in the door frame, but not enough that it hits Dinesh and causes more problems for my new cat buddy.
Sure.
And I want to duck down the stairs.
Okay. So that will be movement dice and then the damage of Bonfire.
Yeah.
What do you want to do, Hallie?
Lighting up the doorway. What do you plan to accomplish by?
Oh wait, that wasn't a failed death saving throw. That was just your 5. I'm an idiot. Okay, he's not closer to death yet.
I mean, you don't know. All you see is that I look like I'm about to move, and I'm looking like I'm gonna cast another spell. That's all you can see.
Oh yeah, it looks like the troll is ready to like football tackle your wizard buddy.
All right, so his focus is on the wizard.
Oh yeah, laser focus.
All right, then I think I'm gonna use my second inspiration and just try to like, just totally hit him just straight on, while his attention is just not at me.
Smash him. Okay.
Just smash.
So that is a D12 for you to see where you go. Okay.
Normal D12.
Just a D12.
Oh.
All right.
Nice.
You go first. So make me that attack roll.
All right. That's Or how does that work?
I think you need to get the
D20.
mic closer to yourself because you keep on
You
facing out.
roll 2 D20s for me, and I'll add the remainder, which is a +4.
I can add the +4 from here.
You can.
I can. I am learning
That
things. Not that it's helping
There's
me
a
right now.
very good reason.
Well,
Whoa!
that
Okay. I do not want to take this away from you by describing it myself, because I totally would. So you tell me how you end this troll,
So let me
because
think.
there's no way you can get less than 1 damage, which is exactly what a vendor left him at.
oh no!
Yes! All right. I slide between the troll's legs, just sliding past him real quick,
Sure.
and I just like leap up. As I leap up, I just use my axe to slice his belly open from the bottom up.
Okay. So just whisk, slash, and then if you don't mind, as he's like, I'm going to have you slam the axe into the side of his head, and you bring him right to the floor.
I think that is brilliant.
And he just
I landed an eloquent backflip.
laughing all the while.
Yes, with a great smile.
All right. Well,
Yes, the battle is completed. The troll lies defeated.
how do you roll minimum
the-
damage on magic missile? It's too funny. I'm gonna let his body keep being consumed by the fire, and go.
Sure, actually, just so you know, because this is a mechanical feature of trolls, which I have just kept, and it would have been a problem had you not had bonfire. Because he's consistently taking fire damage, his body can't heal.
Yep.
So that is like the one way you can kill a troll is with either acid or fire damage being dealt to them. So that you stop their regen, and he is gone because his regen is stopped and the life has gone out of him.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna let that fire burn up that entire body just to be safe and make sure he doesn't come back.
Sure.
Then I'm gonna make a heal check on.
Please do so. You are more-
I'm assuming my assumption has been throughout this entire thing that we have just let Bird Person guard the front door to make sure that we have not been
Yeah, you don't know where Bird Person is.
okay. As I was saying, my assumption was that we told Bird Person to stay at the front door and be like, make sure no one.
We saw Bunny run off into the woods and then chased it.
Well, actually, what it was is like he saw something inside.
Ah.
Anyway, I got a 20 on a heal check for him.
Yeah, you only need 15 to stabilize, so he is stabilized, and I'm going to say, do you guys have a medical kit with you or no?
I do not think so. No. If we
Well,
do,
you've stabilized him.
if we do, that is on Bird Person.
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, hearing the incredible commotion, and like you guys took this out in like 3 rounds, so 3-4 rounds, so that's only like a couple seconds.
Yeah.
By the way. So in like every
I
round.
just realized I shot him and then just got smacked on the head twice.
Yeah.
He's like, you jerk, don't shoot me.
So Bird Person comes up and he's gonna cast Cure Wounds. I won't take it away from Ben, but he's gonna cast Cure Wounds on you. So I believe that gives you like D6 plus 4 or something to that effect. So that's what I'm gonna roll because I don't care to check right now. So you receive 9 points of health and are
How
healed
convenient.
fully, I believe.
I have 9 health. Yep.
So he places his hand, his claw on your head, and there is a fantastic light as your head knits itself back together, much in the same way that the troll was doing previously, although much faster. And you guys are standing, troll body, laughing halfling, covered in troll guts. There's a bunch of shiny things on the floor. The troll's satchel, if you will, his man bag, his papoose, which does not hold babies, generally speaking.
Yes, it might have at one point.
His minor treasure hoard in the background.
Would it be... can I examine his satchel?
You absolutely can.
What's in the satchel?
You reach into the satchel?
Yep.
Okay. You reach into the satchel, and it's weird. It's like you don't feel the inside of it.
That's... What?
Your hand feels kind of cold.
I quickly withdraw my hand. And I hand it to the wizard. Like, you take care of this.
It's a bag. Do I?
It's big, by the way. It's like human sized.
Right, then I drag it slowly.
It's
over.
it's big and loose. It's like a tattery thing.
Ah.
Does Evander know this is a bag of holding?
It appears to have some kind of magic on it. That is I believe it's conjuration based. I believe that's what that is. And there does appear to be interdimensional space inside this bag, which you find out like. Do you want to describe how you find it out, or shall I?
Go ahead.
It's gonna look pretty ridiculous if I do it. Okay. So first you put your hand in. She hands you the bag, and you're like, oh, that's like a really greasy bag. And then you put your hand in it and see what's going on, and you're like, oh. And then you put your head inside the bag, and when you pop back out, it's like the whoop. I think I know how the bodies got here.
When I pop out, am I like holding treasure because I was thinking about gold?
Oh, were you?
So my arms are full of gold now.
You do have a bunch of gold pieces, just like as your head pops out, it's just like, and it like spews out of the bag, and there's just like a bunch of gold pieces all over the floor.
Good.
I'm enjoying myself. I can't calm down. There's no chill in here. So there are a bunch of gold pieces all over the floor. You have what is presumably a really big bag of holding in your hands. Like I said, this is human-sized bag of holding. Like this bag is the same size as you.
Cool. Is there no longer any? Is the troll completely flambéed at this point?
The troll body is partially charred, partially eviscerated. It's all over the place.
Alright.
The halfling is still laughing in its guts. Well, no, she's not.
I'm gonna keep letting it cook.
Okay. It's pretty rough. It's definitely dead.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So, do we want to end with just gathering up the treasure and throwing it in the sack for tonight?
I would have no problem with this.
All right.
Okay.
Because
As you do so, So you're just picking up the treasure and putting it into the satchel.
Yeah, that's pretty much the plan.
Okay.
I will at
Alright.
one point, just to make sure, reach my hand in and think about a person, and then pull my hand out.
Okay. Do you have a specific person in mind at all, or just any people?
I think about as many people from the caravan that I possibly knew.
Okay. You managed to pull out one person, who falls onto the ground and it appears to be unconscious, and then lets out a weak cough, and that's where we're gonna end.
Yay!
That's
I had
super
a
climax.
rough night.
You did have a rough night, sir.
Well, I mean, it started off real good. You shot him real well.
You
Yeah,
shot
thank you.
him real good.
That helped a lot.
Yeah, you did a lot of good initial damage there.
So the other thing too that I'm
How
going
much health
to
did you have total?
be adding to you, I started him with 50 health.
Okay.
And then I lowered his regen to 5, because if he had the 84 health and the 10 regen that trolls normally
I
have,
needed the fourth person.
it wouldn't have been a great fight.
Do
I don't like slog fests, so
do trolls have vulnerability to fire, or just it cuts off their regen? Out of
it cuts out their regen.
Okay.
Yeah. They're not vulnerable. So you were doing damage, but it wasn't like astronomical
Right, yeah, I just did
damage. But it was real good because you stopped him from
Yeah.
healing altogether.
I do
Which
know
is
enough
super-
about trolls, Dungeons and Dragons, to know that. That's what I was like. Does Vander know he needs fire for trolls?
Yeah, so I'm fine with that. I like that. You had the tool, and I appreciate the ability to let you use it. Yeah, so the other things too is I'm still working on the specials for everybody. My idea for you, Weston,
Yeah.
is to give you the contracts, because I know you said you wanted to be a daredevil to a certain extent. So what it would be is basically like 3 times per day. So it would be a little bit limited. So it doesn't just happen all the time, at least not at the beginning. I think it'll get more powerful later on. But at the beginning, 3 times per day, you can make the contract against someone. And what it'll do is for every round that the contract is on that person, it will add a d6 to the damage that you will be able to do with them when you consume the contract. Like you'll consume the mark and you just roll extra damage dice.
Okay.
Up to 3d6, so like up to 3 rounds, you can
So
let
3
it
hits
simmer.
on a person, and I get to use it 3 times a day.
Yeah. And you can consume it at any point to do the extra damage. It's just it'll accrue more damage every round that you have on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the beginning, it doesn't reset or anything, so it's just 3 times per day you can set the contracts. I'm still working on everybody else's. I think a vendor, like I said, you're probably going to get a random spell that will come with its own spell slot.
Okay.
Which will be a 3 time per day thing. And this is both combat and out of combat uses. I'm trying to develop them for everybody. So like the contract, I don't like if it's used in a certain way. I think might be allow you to track people, and they can't hide from you. And then I'm still working on the special for Halfling, because I don't know much about your backstory, so I'm just positing one that has something to do with your ancestors. The halfling nobility.
All right. Cool. All right, well, I'm gonna kill the recording here. So.
Okay.
All right.